Okay, guys, so in this video, I wanted to break down our content framework and how you can start creating your own content framework for your own business to make sure that this is as seamless and as easy to implement as possible. One of the biggest pushbacks that I always get around content is on people saying, oh, it takes too long to produce. We don't know how to come up with ideas. There's naturally a lot of friction within the content process, from the ideation of that ideas. How do you know what to talk about? To then actually getting content in the first place, right? Like writing these ideas can take time. You don't want to have to sit in front of a blank page on a Word document to try come up with content, or sitting in front of the camera wondering what to talk about. So here's the framework that I found has worked best for me and has performed very well for us over the years to remove that friction from the process and ensure that everything you're doing is getting the best possible output. So this all starts at the beginning with short form experiments. Okay, so short form experiments, there's a couple of different angles here. One, if you're at the stage where you literally have no idea what to create content about, my suggestion to you, and you can even, depending on the size of your team, it might be worth getting people in your team who are customer facing to begin recording themselves whilst they are on calls with customers. Because I absolutely promise you, if you are customer facing, you're having conversations even with potential customers or even your own team, you're on Zoom calls, you're on meetings every day, you will be dropping some value bombs. You will be dropping some nuggets, and there will be things in there that can be repurposed. Here's an example here. I have a camera set up next to me pretty much all times, recording all of the calls I'm on. So it's then very easy for me to repurpose little snippets, little 30-second to 1-minute snippets from that content to then test these and validate them as ideas. Do people resonate with this? Is it getting traction? Are we getting comments on it? If we don't, cool, I can test the next thing. What this does, though, it allows me to get content and test ideas at scale very rapidly. I don't have to go through the awkwardness of sitting in front of a camera. I don't have to think about what am I going to talk about. I just, every time I'm on a call, switch that camera on and it's recording. You can do this on a phone with a tripod. You don't have to have fancy equipment. And actually what you'll find is this content tends to perform better than when you're looking directly at a camera, because people don't feel like they're being sold to. They don't feel like they're being pitched. It just feels like they are consuming content. So you'll get much more consumption and much more qualitative feedback on that content. The other way of getting ideas and going through the ideation process, go on forums and type in questions relating to your niche, whether that be anything to do with fashion, whether it's to do with B2B enterprise level security software, marketing. It really doesn't matter. If you go on platforms like Quora, Reddit, there will be specific niche forums or groups sometimes. Find people who are searching for things relating to your niche and find questions and answer them. This is a really easy way. If you are truly an expert in your space, which I hope you are, if you have a business in that space, if you see questions, you will be able to answer them. One of the best things you can do here is every morning take 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes in your day, even if you're sat on the toilet, if you have to, go through that, find questions and answer them. 5 minutes every day. You will end up with an inordinate amount of content. But what you can also do, and this is the validation phase, is you then look for the answers you've given a month from now, 2 months from now, where they had significant traction. If you look at this response I gave here to somebody asking about LinkedIn ads, people saying I learned more from this comment than I did in any marketing courses. Fantastic advice. Many marketers will pay you for this advice. You're looking for those qualitative insights. This post had 60,000 views on it and over 9 shares. Like, these are the things where you want to see, is the market responding to this in a positive way? Am I getting comments that show people are engaged with this? And actually, an interesting tip here, people don't have to agree with you. Even if you're getting pushback, people questioning and challenging, that's good, because it shows that people are engaged with this and it's a hot topic on people's mind. That is what we want. Okay, it doesn't have to be people agreeing. The amount of times You put content out there that's done incredibly well off the back of questioning, doubtful feedback. It shows that it's something the market is actively thinking about, actively worried about. They're going through that process. So by you taking a stand on it, it allows you to then create content. So from that ideation phase, not only have we put a bunch of content out there, people are getting to know about the brand. So this is a win in itself, even if you just did this. The next thing you'll want to do, though, is now long form content. And this is the bit that takes more time, creating YouTube videos, creating blogs. It can be time consuming. You have to allocate a lot of resources to it. This is about minimal resources. This is the 5-minute, set up a camera, let it record. Let's just repurpose this. These videos, you can put them through tools like capwing.com, auto generates captions, is done within 2 minutes. There's no excuses with these kind of things. You can just blast answers out, repurpose content. There's absolutely no excuses. Here, this is where it takes a bit more time and thoughtfulness. You have to create good content. You have to script out your YouTube videos. But now we're doing it knowing that we've had them validated. You also want to, at this stage, make sure you're experimenting constantly with different headlines, different hooks, different thumbnails to make sure you are optimizing for view rate. You are getting those views, you're getting those clicks through. These are some pieces of content where they've gone through the validation stage, and you'll then see this video has had 48,000 views on it, right? It gets 3 views every single hour. This is a video here that ranks in Google for over 50 different keywords to do with conversion rate decreasing, conversion rate dropping. So we're able to bring marketers to our website for those related terms, demonstrate we're experts, and then generate leads from it. And this all came from a question that somebody originally asked in a Reddit post. In fact, it was Quora, right? This is another one here where even this post here, it was inspired by somebody answering this. I answered this question. I think I actually genuinely was sat on the toilet when I was answering this. Probably TMI, but the fact is it comes from a very easy place where you're just literally a couple of minutes answering a question, giving value, and then it gives you the validation to know, okay, I can now create content behind this, right? Once you've then found that content that ranks and you've got your top performing content, now we're going to repurpose it into more short form content. So we're going to take those videos, we're going to chop them up again. You can use tools like capwing.com to chop up video content. It would literally within a matter of minutes. There's lots of AI tools that will help you with this process these days, and then turn this into more short form content where you can be then experimenting with different thumbnails, different headlines, different hooks to see which angles work best. And this can then refeed the beginning of that process. Even here, this is an example of where I've repurposed this short form content. One of the answers that one of the comments that somebody left on this initial short form content, I've now repurposed this into a post into more short form content. So you'll see how this then becomes a cycle. But the idea here is removing that friction at the front end. So you're maximizing on the output that you are doing. So the blogs and the YouTube and the long form time consuming process you are doing has as much chance of succeeding as possible. And you don't have to go through this painful process of trying to figure out the right hooks and the right angles.